Let's start off by talking about Crystal Valley Ranch, because this was a new build community where this exact thing just happened. So they have this thing, and this happens a lot with new build communities. You walk in the sales office and they have the big billboard with pitching all of the features and the amenities and all the great things about the community. And on that, they have the map where they have the school site blocked off and maybe even a little icon picture of a school. Definitely seems pretty set in stone to the people walking in, but it's definitely not. And this is a great example of how it's not, because that middle school is not actually going to be built there.
That's right. And this is something we tell folks about new builds all the time, is there's just a lack of certainty in this whole process. As a matter of fact, we have a whole video on this called The Dark Side of New Builds. Check it out. But back to this today. So if you looked at the site plan, what it had originally was this large, we've got Crystal Valley Ranch on the south side, and far north, you've got Crystal Valley Parkway, and across that major road, we had the site for the middle school. Mm-hmm. So it's just to the east of Rhyolite Park, and in between that and another neighborhood. And to me, if you look at how things ended up here and you look at that tiny little space, this was ill-fated from the start. I mean, it just looks like a space that's going to be squished to fit an entire middle school in. And I'm just a guy who's looking at a map. But it never made sense to me, and now it does make sense that there's not going to be a school there.
Yeah, I mean, crossing that road is one thing, but as if that placement and all of the weirdness associated with the location was not bonkers enough, the size of it was just not enough. So it was 20-acre parcel that was proposed to be this middle school, and only 17-ish acres of that was actually buildable land. And I guess you need about 30 acres to build a middle school. That's not something I knew about.
I know, but you know who should have known that? The builder. Yeah. That was a pretty major mess up there.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they intentionally, bait and switched people into thinking there was going to be a school knowing it would never happen there, but it all just does feel a little bit messy.